What are affirmations? How important is intention in spellcraft? More on these questions in this episode. Stay tuned. Hello, my name is Tristan and I am the Wizard of the Wide Brim. Welcome to my channel where we discuss magical topics to strengthen your practice and live a better life. Today's question, or at least our first question, what are affirmations? Simply put, they're the most basic form of magic that anyone can practice. It's manifesting your will into the universe by use of words. And yeah, that's all it is. But what separates a generic statement from an affirmation? Affirmations are typically very straightforward and precise, short, simple, in a way that gets the idea across in the most effective way possible for a more direct path to the desired result. Now, how you go about using an affirmation is really up to you, but that's really all they are. Even if you don't practice magic, they are a potent psychological tool to manifesting and realizing a better life for yourself. Some basic examples include saying, I am smart, I am brave, I am strong, or negativity is warded from my life. Even the common phrase, I can do this, is an affirmation. And the basic idea behind this is that you saying these things aloud brings them into existence, makes them real and concrete in the world. I am particularly known among my friend groups for a quote that says, saying it makes it so. And I firmly do believe that, because when you have strong emotion tied to a particular phrase or whatever you're saying, it can turn it into an affirmation if you strongly believe in it enough. Now, I typically employ this saying when they use negative connotations. Affirmations in of themselves, like the energy behind them, isn't positive or negative. It's the words that we use, their meanings and the connotation behind them that shapes that energy into positive or negative. The same energy that we use to uplift someone on a bad day can just as easily be used to verbally insult someone. So be careful about what you say. Now, how do we use affirmations in our practice? Beyond simply using them as minor workings to manifest, there are many ways that we can use affirmations to give direction to a particular spell. It's almost like giving a spell's energy a GPS to work from to get to the desired destination. Let's say, for example, that you were making a money bowl to draw in more funds. The money bowl itself doesn't really know where to start drawing in funds, so you might be getting money from all kinds of different sources. Gifts, a raise at work, finding it on the street, ending up with spare change, or finding money in your house or apartment. But for our purposes, we want to have that money spell specifically get us a raise at our job. Because of the nebulous nature of the spell, because it's so simple, we can use an affirmation to help guide the energy of that spell working toward getting a raise. In this case, we would probably write down the affirmation on a piece of paper and then put it into the money spell with the rest of the spell ingredients and then mix it in. Now, other spells can use affirmations in a multitude of ways. So you might write an affirmation to draw things in by writing it clockwise, or you might draw an affirmation counterclockwise to push things away. Some spells have you write the affirmation and then release it, either by burning it or tearing it up. Pretty much just any form that you can think of to properly use an affirmation to guide the spellcraft, and by working with your gut instinct of what to do, you can use an affirmation in that way. It's a very malleable resource. But how do affirmations work? That's where we get on to our second topic for today, intention. Intention is essentially the basic driving force behind Magick. Now, there have been numerous debates over the years as to how much intention plays a part in the working of a spell. Some have said that all you need is intention and that everything else is just kind of nebulous and fills in the gaps, whereas other people say that the ritual aspect and how you perform the magic is far more important than the intention itself. I mean, it wouldn't be witchcraft without the craft part, now would it? I personally prefer a little bit of a mix of both ideologies. Intention is the driving force behind a spell or any given technique, but without proper execution or direction, it's simply untamed energy that just kind of gets released out into the universe and doesn't really cause any change. But even so, intention is the engine of any spell work. So without it, no matter how much preparation you use, no matter what items and components you use for your spell, it's not going to work because you lack the intention behind it. Spells work because they are a manifestation of the practitioner's will. And to do that effectively, the practitioner must have a strong commitment to the spell itself. I have often told students of my own that doubt is the greatest detriment and debilitator to magic. If you are not devoted in spirit to your spell, or you're already telling yourself while you're working it that it's going to fail, it will. The mind is a very powerful tool, and it can often work just as much against us as it can for us. Now, just to be clear, this doesn't mean that you need to devote all of yourself into every spell that you cast. That is unnecessary. For some things, the simple act of going through the motions of the spell is enough to dedicate yourself to it and to give it the intent. Just make sure to maintain focus while you're doing it. Don't daydream and go off thinking about what you're going to make for dinner. Focus in on the work that you're doing while you're doing it, and that will be enough. If you don't focus or you allow doubt to creep in, the spell will either not work at all, or if you're allowing different influences to come in, you can completely change the direction of the spell itself. For example, if I were to be making a sigil to put on my door to ward off mischievous spirits, but I'm thinking while I'm creating the sigil and drawing it or engraving it on whatever I'm going to put on my door, that it's not really going to work, or I'm worried that despite me making the sigil, these mischievous spirits will still enter my home, then that energy gets put into the spell. And thus, when I hang it on my door, it's no longer a shield against those mischievous spirits. It's more like an invitation. So make sure that you're focused on the intent that you want for your spell. Now, of course, that's an extreme case. So just make sure to be clear with your intention, and you really don't need to worry about this kind of thing happening. Most of the time, it just kind of fizzles out the spell because there are opposing forces working and they just kind of collapse in on each other. Just remain focused. You're a lot stronger than you think you are when it comes to your spellcraft. So a review. Affirmations. They are short and direct phrases that help you channel your intent to manifest in the universe. Affirmations can be used verbally or written down to help direct a spell. Intention is the driving force behind magic, and without proper focus of the intention, a spell can be manipulated if you're not careful. So be steadfast and sure when you are putting forth your intention. Go ahead and like this video if you enjoyed this content and found it useful, and subscribe for more later on. And please share this with anyone that you think this might help, Magick practitioner or not. And of course, if you have questions or your own opinions and personal experiences on this kind of thing, please leave those down in the comments below. I would love to read what you guys have. And if you guys have unique questions or unique points of view on different things, that might help spark a video on that particular topic. So I guess go ahead and let me know what else you guys would like to see and would like to know down in the comments below too. But until next time, my friends, may your days be luminous. So mote it be.